Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
Frank, is the Bible historically reliable?
Oh, I think so, absolutely, Bobby. And I think if you look at 6 lines of testimony that begin with the letter E, as an overview, you can see that it is. First of all, we have early testimony. Most, if not all, the New Testament documents are written prior to 70 AD. Secondly, we have eyewitness testimony. For example, there's 140 details between the book of Acts and the Gospel of John that have been verified to either be eyewitness details or details that only an eyewitness could know, or they knew somebody who was an eyewitness. Thirdly, we have embarrassing testimony. That may sound a little strange, but there's so many embarrassing details in the text that the writers never would have made up. Like, for example, they never would have Jesus call Peter Satan. They never would have had Peter deny Christ 3 times. They certainly wouldn't have run away while the women were the brave ones at the crucifixion, right? That doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have the women be the first witnesses. They wouldn't doubt that he had risen from the dead after he had risen from the dead. There's so many embarrassing details. This is not a made-up story. Number 4, we have excruciating testimony. That literally means out of the crucifixion that these individuals died brutal deaths, excruciating deaths, when they could have saved themselves by saying Jesus had not risen from the dead, but they went to their deaths anyway. We also have expected testimony. That's number 5. In other words, there's Old Testament prophecy that causes us to expect a Messiah in the first century with the same characteristics Jesus had. Just look at Isaiah 53. You don't need to go much further than that. And then finally, we have extra biblical testimony. We have 10 ancient non-Christian sources within 150 years of Jesus' life. And when you take their brief references to Jesus and early Christianity, you get a storyline congruent with the New Testament. So for those 6 reasons, early, eyewitness, embarrassing, excruciating, extra biblical, and expected testimony, we pretty much know that the New Testament's historically reliable.